G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. How are we all doing on this lovely evening? I thought I'd come out somewhere a little bit more scenic for today's video. Now I hope I didn't grab too dark of an ND filter though, because this is the one worry I have, because there's a lot of shadowy parts around here, so hopefully the video still looks good. Otherwise, ladies and gents, welcome. My name's Nathan. I make videos about motorcycles and upload them. If you enjoy the content, leave a like, comment and subscribe for some more. Anyway, I thought I'd get into a nice little topic today, and that is about the one thing that I've definitely never skimped on in my life with motorcycle stuff, and that is motorcycle gear. Ooh. And the importance of the ATGAT stuff. So for once in my life, you notice I'm wearing my jacket, I've got my boots on and all that goodness. Much like with anything, a recommendation, it's not a legality. I know some people wish it was, but it's just a recommendation that you wear all your gear all the time. I'm not going to tell you off, ooh, that's pretty, if you don't wear your gear all the time. Because look, I'm not perfect, I don't wear my gear a lot of the time, and that's because I'm lazy. And will that bite me in the ass one day? It might. And that's the joys of choosing not to wear gear. It's a gamble. So the reason I'm talking about it in today's video is, well, there's a reason the ATGAT thing is it's an acronym. It's there for a bloody reason, and that is for the safety of you as the rider. Because look, coming off on your motorcycle is not something ideal. Like, we don't all want to do it. There's a fly just splattered all over my visor, because of course it always happens at the beginning. Woo-wee, look at that bloody view, boys and girls. Oh, sorry, I'm distracted by this area, that's why I came out here. It's been a while since I've done a nice ride momos out in the middle of the country-ish area, because it's hard to get time when you're always working, man. But dude, there's a reason that motorcycle gear is so important, and it's for, like, as the saying goes, dressed for the slide, not the ride, because coming off a motorcycle and sliding along hot bitumen is not a fun time, I can assure you that. And the more layers you have between you and the road, the better. Now, there's different levels of motorcycle gear. All right, you got armor plates, you got your Kevlar stuff, and then you got your leathers. Okay. Now, your armor plates will protect you from bumps and that, but they will not protect you from road rash. Your Kevlar equipment will protect you from some road rash, not all, and then the leather was your best bet. Full stop. All right. So Kevlar, I wear Kevlar pants, but I wear leather jackets and boots and, well, my gloves. It depends on what the weather is. All right. Kevlar is a good middle ground between, it's got the breathability of your clothes, but it's not bad enough to the point where if you fall off, it's just going to tear immediately. Okay, that's why we don't like wearing cotton and stuff on our motorcycle rides. But leather is the best thing you could possibly wear for your motorcycle moments if you do have an injury, like, or falling off a bike. All right, so leather will slide the longest, whereas Kevlar will slide for, like, I think it's 4 seconds or something. So in most cases, if you're following the law, your Kevlar equipment will be more than enough for the slide. But if you're doing a lot more of your fun, slidey, twisty stuff, if you're coming off the road and going illegal speeds, you're probably going to be wanting to wear leathers. Oh, please don't be too dark for my video. I should have brought the bloody 16 filter, or the 8 even, because that is better for this time of day. But no, I had to. I don't wear anything but my leather jacket, and I know that if I fall off with my leather jacket, the leather jacket will do me a bloody good protection. Why is it so shadowy down this road? I thought this one was going to be the sunnier road. Like I said, if you fall off your bike wearing Kevlar stuff, you're going to have a bad time, but it's going to be significantly better than if you're just, say, wearing cotton or something along those lines. If you're just wearing your standard cotton or polyester or etc stuff, you fall off your bike, and the moment you hit the ground, essentially it's gone, and you're just scraping on the road. Now, if you don't really need a visual, cover your ears, but the tarmac, bitumen, asphalt, whatever the hell you call it, is essentially, zero grit sandpaper, mate. Alright, so, well, if you know your sandpapers, obviously it's bullshit, but you get the vision, okay? So it's really coarse sandpaper, and you're just sliding across it with your bare skin. Now, I don't know if you've ever rubbed sandpaper on your arm as a joke, but it shit don't feel good. Now, you only do that as a joke with like 10% force. Now, imagine if you're coming down with all the force, alright? So your whole body weight plus a bit extra because of the speed you're carrying. Not to mention the temperatures to take into account. So if it's like a 40-degree day, not only are you sliding and burning yourself from the friction, you're also going to be burning your ass purely from the temperature of the road itself. Because guess what? The bitumen, it's hot, it's very hot. And when you come off it, and you land on just your skin, even if you're not sliding, even if you just sit down with bare flesh on bitumen, you can burn yourself. So imagine you've now had an accident, you've broken a few limbs, you can barely move, and now you're not only broken and scratched to shit, but you're also now just cooking from the bitumen. So this is why I don't recommend we're going no gear. Now look, I might have done it in many videos, but it's not a recommendation, okay? Because if anything does happen, you are going to get fried. Now if you're coming out to these further away areas, I typically like to wear some gear because I'm much further out now than I am home. So if I do have an accident down this way, guess what? It's gonna suck. So I'd much rather come prepared than, you know, oh, it feels hot today, so I'm gonna risk it. So you can wear a Kevlar t-shirt or like a Kevlar long sleeve shirt, but guess what? It's still not as good as just like a good old jacket. And I'd rather be hot than frying on the side of the road. All right. Now Kevlar is a little good in between your standard clothing and your leather clothing. It's not as good as your leathers, that's for sure. But if you're gonna fall off between Kevlar and cotton, I'll take Kevlar 100% of the time. Kevlar's a much tougher material, so if you're sliding around, you have a few seconds of relief. You're not just gonna, you know, destroy yourself immediately, which is the benefit of Kevlar pants. It's definitely gonna be too dark down this area for the camera. God damn it. So if you do fall off the bike, unfortunately it's just going to be a bad time, alright? But you're not going to be scratched to shit and back like you would be if you weren't wearing Kevlar, okay? So Kevlar is what I typically prefer for my pants, because while I go to work, I don't have to change, then I just wear my Kevlar pants all day, alright? Obviously boots are important. You don't need to wear flip-flops, alright, or sandals or thongs, as the Aussies would say, because guess what? You might ride a jigsaw, but you don't need to be a jigsaw boy. I don't need to explain to you why thongs are a bad idea on a motorbike, okay? All you know is you're gonna lose some toes if that's what your preferred method of clothing is. Now, the best kind of gear you can wear is obviously leather. Now, there's different kinds of leather. I think you got sheepskin leather, you got cowhide leather, and other stuff. Sheepskin is smaller, like thinner. It's easier to wear. It's more maneuverable. All right, that's your lower grade protection. It's still pretty good, but nothing beats the cowhide, unfortunately, if you like to have mobility. Cowhide takes a few years to wear in, at least in my opinion. It took well, maybe not a few years, maybe a few months to wear in properly. I love my leather jacket. It's saved me from one fall once already, so I'd rather not have to test it twice. But once you do fall, guess what? It isn't ruined like the other stuff. Oh, we've done the whole reservoir area again with new fresh bitumen for us to have fun on. Now this is going from the normal looking road to like a country ass road. Just I love it. And then it's gone back to normal. But yeah, the thing about leather clothing is when you do fall off your bike, you typically can keep wearing that jacket. You can't wear your helmet, obviously, but wearing your jacket or your pants, you fall off, you scratch it a little bit, it's still good enough to wear, right? Unless you do a massive slide at like 300 kilometers an hour. Poor little buddy on the side of the road dead there. All right, you can re-wear it, mate. Re-wear that shit until your heart's content, because it's still gonna be just as good. All right, well, maybe not just as good, but it's still pretty damn good. So you don't have to worry about it being compromised. Like if you wear Kevlar and you fall off, you're probably going to have to replace it. You wear material gloves like this and you fall down, you're probably going to have to replace them. Not every time, because obviously you only land on your hands. You don't typically keep sliding on your hands unless you have a really bad tumble. Boots, same scenario, okay? Now, gloves, I'd recommend always trying to get one with a little bit of like something here. Metal is preferable to the plastic like I have, because think of it this way. A lot of people don't wear gloves, and when you fall off the bike, what's the first thing you try to put in front of you when you fall? Your hands, okay? So if you're falling down and the first thing you put down in front of you is your hands, I don't know why you wouldn't wear gloves, okay? The only time I've only ridden the bike, I think, like 2 or 3 times without gloves, and one of them was in the video recently, and that's in the 3 years I've ridden. I don't like riding without gloves, okay? I try to avoid it as much as I can because I really, really don't trust it. All right. So the reason I say get the ones with the metal here is because when you put your hands down, if you don't have anything there, you're just going to grip and go under yourself. Whereas if you have the metal on there, it slides. So you put your hand out in front of you, you're sliding, so you can still hold yourself up and protect yourself, and you're just going to be sliding on those sliders, and it's better for you. Bloody bugs all the time. To do that than just grip and rip your hands up, because you're less likely to break your wrist if it's not violently snapping because of the grip you're getting on the ground, okay? So that's why I always recommend getting the one with the sliders on them. Now, you can get away with knee sliders as well, but they're a little less necessary. Alright. Now, lucky last bit of gear is your helmets. Now, the helmet is the one thing I would say you should never cheap out on. Now, motorcycle gear in general, you really shouldn't cheap out on, because typically with gear, the more expensive it is to a degree, the better it is. Now, I'm not talking about $2,000, but like $100 versus $500 is pretty significantly different. Now, when it comes to helmets, I'd say spend $600 more. Those little ones will help you, but I don't know, brother. I'm not taking the chance on my noggin to have some cheaper helmet when I could just pay once, you know. As Hugh always says, buy once, cry once. And I'd rather cry once than have to constantly keep buying helmets because they either deteriorate or they're just shit in general. And the worst thing you can do is buy a cheap one and find out it's been recalled or it's got a flaw in it or something along those lines. Just because they have the safety rating doesn't always mean they're the best helmets you can purchase, right? If you can't afford anything else, obviously go for a cheap one because it's better to have something than nothing and then upgrade in time, all right? I don't want anybody bloody trying to argue that no helmet is the better way to go. Now, with your helmets, there's obviously you got three kinds. Your chin breakers, you got your, modular helmets, and then you got your full face helmets like I'm wearing. Full face is the best helmet for protection, no questions about it. It's the most safe, it's the strongest and sturdiest, okay? So if you plan on doing more aggressive riding, I'd recommend wearing a full face helmet because purely for safety alone, it is the best option you can get. If you like to have a little bit of wind in your face but still be protected, a modular helmet does work well. And look, I used to ride with the modular helmet. They're comfortable. You can flip them up and get a bit of breeze in your face, and when you want to do a bit more stupid shit, you can fold it back down and then be safer, okay? So they're still good, they're still safe, but they're not as safe as a full face helmet, alright? So they're still alright, and I'd recommend them still. Especially the one that you can fold all the way back behind your head. That shit goes hard. Now, lucky last is the chin breaker helmets, and I call them that for a reason. That's your open helmets, alright? Now, I call them chin breakers because of a various thing. Oh, my boy's been flattened to a pulp. When you fall off a bike, say you go face first into a curb, you have a helmet like mine, you might break your nose. You have a helmet like the other one, if it's you might break the chin piece off, but you might be okay. You have an open face helmet, well, your face is going straight into it. So if you hit a post or straight into a car, your face is the one that takes the brunt of the injury. So I don't know about you, I'd much rather not have to deal with that one. So it's just generally not recommended for a lot of the Harley guys love those open helmets. It is going to be so fucking dark. God damn it, I picked the wrong filter for this. Ooh, one of those new Mustangs. I don't think those Mustangs look good as convertibles, man. So, it's up to you to take the risk. I wouldn't personally recommend it. It's just not worth the dangers of risking your face. Like, look, I'd rather risk scraping my leg by wearing non-Kevlar pants, but I would not risk my face being destroyed or my brain crumbling because of my poor decision making, you know what I mean? So that's just my recommendation. Full face to modular helmet. Always make sure you wear a jacket. Just because I don't all the time doesn't mean you should do what I do, especially if you're a new rider. New riders, I would recommend you always wear the correct gear because new riders are the most likely to crash. So the last thing you want is to become part of that statistic. Oh, thank goodness it's a bit brighter over here. It looks nice though, doesn't it? So ladies and gents, think about this when you're going for your rides. Be safe. Try not to be a little bit of a sausage. Alright, wear the right gear. On a hot day, try and get yourself some summer gear. Summer gear is surprisingly cool, alright? We're back in the darkness. Because it's designed for summer, believe it or not. So, when the wind comes through this jacket on like a 26-degree day, it's still cool, which is so pleasant. But ladies and gents, that's all I have time for. Do hope you take it easy, keep it cheesy. Sorry if this video is a bit dark. I'm still getting used to picking out the right ND filter for things, and obviously I think I've done the wrong one today. But oh well, that is life. So take it easy, keep it cheesy, leave your comments down below, and as always, have a wonderful, wonderful time. Peace, bye!